they'll say, oh my God, Akunna is such a singer. She's badass. But she's not 23. She's lying to us. And I'm like, oh, you guys, I just act like an old woman, but I'm 23 years old. I'm very old. But I've always been like, when I was 18, 17, you would argue because I always talk a certain way. I'm very old. I feel like I reincarnated or something. But yeah, moving on.
You're an old soul, basically.
I'm very old. So yeah, like, I'm 23 and I became a lawyer at 21. I can sing. I sing to myself in the bathroom and I get emotional.
Oh,
like my own
wow.
My own voice puts me in my feelings. So I don't need to listen to Beyonce, Ed Sheeran, and all those guys because I cannot put himself. I put myself in my own feelings. I have zero regrets. And at least I'm on national TV for the right reasons. So zero regrets. I'm very proud of myself, very excited, that I got to the point I got the only girl standing in a competition as tough as that. So I'm very proud of myself, if I do say so.
So after you heard all Akunna has said about you, see how she's endeared you now. Like she's been very, very positive about everything. So how much is her cut out of that money?
How much did I give her out of the money?
Yes.
She's the lawyer already.
Don't move out of the frame. Let's see your face as I answer the question.
Lawyer already.
So she'll determine her own court, Abby.
No, that's not what I said. Different from
boy. So I also tell Akunna, don't pressurize me, okay? Don't try to force me to be in a Tiwa or a Seyi Shay or a Yemi Alade. You understand? Because when you're done with this show, it's on you. Like the expectations are high, but they don't want to know or care if that's the pathway you want. Every now and then they're attaching me to Yemi Alade. Akunna is a mini Yemi Alade. She's fierce. She's this one. What if I love her? Big respect to her, but she's really big. I love what she does, but that might not be Akunna. How about you allow Akunna find Akunna?
I was looking at your Instagram page. First of all, I think you were the one that performed EXO by Beyonce, right?
Yes.
Chills. Like literal chills. Do you understand? Literal chills. It was a really nice performance and I enjoyed every bit of it. Because I won't lie, I wasn't really following I wasn't really following as much as I'd have known because I didn't even have time to sit there in front of a TV. But I caught that performance and I was like, who be this? And then I heard you at the last lady in the competition and I was like, you reach that place.
Oh.
Yeah, if you don't do that, we will offset and fight in public.
We run down the building.
You get. So I also noticed that you're a lawyer, not just a lawyer, but you call yourself a jiggy lawyer. Please, what does that even mean? Let's start from there.
So there's this stereotype that lawyers are very stuck up. Lawyers are. It's more like people feel like you can't balance being a lawyer and being happy at life, for lack of a better.
Okay.
Lack of a better phrase. So it's more like if you're a lawyer, all you do is go to court, come back. You don't have a life. You don't socialize and all that. So and I kind of broke that. Not just me. A couple of us have broken that stereotype because I had very good grades at school. Okay. From law school, I had the second class upper. And you know what it means to get that law school? Law school, you are graded by your lowest score. So you can get like 4. You get 4 A's and 1 C, and that's like a second class lower. You can get 4 A's and 1 F, and you failed.
4 A's and 1 F, and you failed?
Yes. You failed.
Oh, really? Wait. What happened to the 4 A's?
They'll tell you they want you to be balanced at the law. You can't know 4 courses and fail 1 course and be a lawyer.
Hey,
you have to.
Wahala.
So yeah, so proudly I would say if you get to second class upper in law school, you go. So aside that, I got that to the glory of God. Then at the same time, I still have a very functional social life. time I had a very serious 9 to 5 in one of like a leading firm in Nigeria before I went for Nigerian Idol. And every Friday is turn up for Akunna, you know, after going to court and all that. I had this spot I always went to. So that's how the name came. They're like, oh, GGS lawyer, because you know how to balance this thing, you know how to be a lawyer and still be a baby girl, you know. So that's
Akunna Esquire, Gigi lawyer and baby girl, all in one package. I like that. I like that. So I want to ask, does EFCC have the right to come into my house because they suspect I'm a Yahoo boy and just start searching my properties? Is there any legal basis for that?
To be honest, right? So you know there are laws, there are general laws, and then there are laws that are that were enacted like from agencies. So EFCC has their own acts, like there's an act for that, and yes, it does allow once there is proper information, it allows them to actually raid. They can do that.
Oh, they can do that. Oh, okay. Okay, so the same for Lasma, because I want to fight some people on the road now. Do you know? I have a lawyer that you know those plenty with. So can Lasma also just come into my car?
If we're going to details, if we're going to details like Lasma and all those, they love wrong things. Even down to EFCC, they love wrong things. I feel like generally in Nigeria, people overdo, people push. They push more than they should. They cross borderline. Because I don't know why a policeman will stop me and ask me for a fire extinguisher. That's not your duty. It's the duty of road safety. I give it to them all the time. I give it to them like if I'm in a car and you stop, and it's okay to ask for car papers because you're trying to ensure that the vehicle is mine or it's not stolen. But you can't be asking me for extra tire and fire extinguisher just because you want to make sure that there's a way to extort. So, it's what it is. There are a lot of things that are wrong. A lot of things. Police coming in to make an arrest and putting you in handcuffs. It's wrong.
Oh, it is?
Or it's very wrong. If you're making an arrest, the law says that everybody arresting is presumed innocent until when proven guilty. Okay. But what if you beat people in the process of arresting me and then I go to court and you find that I didn't do what you're saying I did? Which is a very high percentage. So when you're arresting someone, the only exceptions where you can be, apply force is where there's a reasonable thinking that the person is trying to run away or the person is trying to resist arrest. Then you can place the person in handcuffs because the person has become violent and dangerous. But besides that, you just come in, recite what you have to recite, because you have to recite the law to the person and make sure the person understands. Then after doing that, you can then walk the person to your vehicle, because you're arresting the person based on alleged crime. You're not sure the person did it. So you can't treat somebody like a criminal when the court has not said that person is a criminal or the person did what it is that you alleging the person did. So saying this, I'm saying there are a lot of wrong things in the system and everybody has gotten used to it because
with Nigeria and everything,
That is Nigeria. Yeah, everybody now used to it. It's like, oh, whatever, we know it's wrong, but yeah, whatever. I mean, they ban Twitter. Why would you ban Twitter? What's wrong with you guys? But then it's what it is. Everybody has adjusted. You can only make noise for you. Adjust because it's the country you're in.
Okay.
So yeah.
So there are a lot of illegalities, disguising as legalities in this country.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. I feel like if we continue talking about this, man, we'll forget the main reason why we're here. Like we'll just keep talking about it. So I'm hearing you talk about your love for the law, you're a lawyer, you start practicing and everything. Then the opportunity for idols came up. I suspect you already knew how to sing. That was normal level now. Then the idols came up. But did you think about everything? Now you're a star. You walk on the street and people will say, no, that should be that. Do you understand? Yeah. But did you talk to me about why did you even decide to go into the idol, stage? I don't even know if you call it a house or competition or just why did you decide to take that step? Okay.
So I'm somebody that always says, like, even when they say, oh, what do you have to say to your fans or what do you have to say to Akunna? I always say, always make sure that you live life on your own terms. Make sure whatever decisions you proud of them and your things that in the long run you'll be proud that you make. So for me, I've always been of the opinion that right from when I was in uni and all, I was like, look, I want to be 70 or I want to be 50. Look back at the life I lived and be sure that I exhausted all my options before I got to where I was. That's it. So now, I usually also feel like Akunna is not one person. I always say like there are two shades of Akunna. I know like two Akunnas. The Akunna that is a lawyer, then the Akunna that has always known how to sing but just hid that talent away from everybody. Okay. So I'm 23 years old, by the way.
Woo!
And
really?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay.
Only the internet is arguing with me. I trend on Twitter. They'll say, "Oh my God, Akunna is such a singer. She's badass." But she's not 23. She's lying to us. And I'm like, "Oh, you guys, I just act like an old woman, but I'm 23 years old. I am very old. But I've always been like, when I was 18, 17, you would argue because I always talk a certain way. I'm very old. I feel like I reincarnated or something. But yeah, moving on.
You're an old soul, basically.
I'm very old. So yeah, like, you know, I'm 23 and I became a lawyer at 21. So yeah, I would say like I'm exhausted. I'm still exhausting, but I would say to an extent, I have used the brain that God gave me. Oh, she's brainy, she's intelligent, she's smart. I have utilized it. I've exhausted it. I became a lawyer. I'm doing well at that field. I'm grateful to God for that. But then I didn't want to be a lawyer. Like I'll be a lawyer, blah, 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 at 70, probably an SAN or a judge or something. Mm-hmm. And then I would hear somebody sing on the road and I'll tell my grandchildren and my children that, do you know mommy could sing when she was younger? Like mommy was amazing. And they're like, so mommy, why are you here? Why did you? And I'm like, and low key, I'll be like, but I wish I explored, you know, that option. So when I've always been thinking about it. I was like, I can sing. I sing to myself in the bathroom and I get emotional.
Oh,
like my own.
Wow.
My own voice puts me in my feelings, so I don't need to listen to Beyonce, Ed Sheeran, and all those guys because I cannot put himself. You know, I put myself in my own feelings, and I was like, oh, how do I explore this? How do I, you know? And my friend just called me and she was like, oh, Nigerian Idol. I'm like, Nigerian Idol? I've not heard of Nigerian Idol like in a while. So where is that coming from? I don't know what to scam, but I didn't know superior registration fee. I asked that. And she was like, oh no, it's totally free, sir. It's online and all that. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not doing it. You know, I shied away from it. That one, she's not year old. She actually went to pick a video, like a cover I had done, and sent it to them on my behalf.
Oh, your friend sent your video to the idols and everything because you were shying away from. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Did that, you know. Then eventually I did another video and sent. So there were like 2 videos on Idol. I don't know if they saw one, but they got back to me eventually. And, you know, and that was that. Even when they got back to me, I was like, do I want to go for this? Like, they had shortlisted over 200 people from like 10,000 or 20,000 people that had done. Okay. And I was like, oh, do I really want to do this? And it looked like God, sorry to sound spiritual, but it looked like
you're loud, please.
God was trying to make me understand that He really wanted me to do that. Because for every excuse I gave myself as to why I should go, He always took it away. I got a new job when it was time for job. First of all, when it was time for auditions, I'm a poor babe, so I travel to my village every Christmas. I don't miss it. Oh, okay. So we had sent out like early December or November. They shortlisted in January. I said the audition. Physical. Sorry about that. Sorry, I got the call.
No, okay.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm here.
And told me that the physical auditions would be January 6th and 7th. And January 6th and 7th is when the village is still sweet. I know that. So I was like that. I was like, oh, that is like I will not go for this thing. You know, because I'm not ready to leave. Okay. I know that. So, yeah, that was the first excuse. Next thing, they now send a mail that, oh, the Akunna, hi Akunna, your audition has been moved to 16th and 17th. I'm like,
perfect.
What is, as in, then and I came back to Lagos.
Okay.
After I finished it. Then my new office, that's the office I was working on before I came to the show, sent a mail that the official interview was on the 16th or so.
Oh wow.
By 17th. I was like, I will not leave my law work and go and do audition, because I wasn't even sure if I was going to make it through. I couldn't risk it, but that was a big job I wanted to get. So I'd cancelled Idols. On the 13th, my office calls. And they're like, oh, interview is 21st and 22nd or so, not 16th and 17th.
So basically, you were free then?
Then Idols sent a reminder. I'm like, what is this? Eventually, I went for the auditions. I was the first person to audition. Even on the show, I was the first audition that was aired. Everything, I was the first person. So I did it. I was the first person to get the golden ticket. I got it and I left. So when I left, they told us, they'll contact us for when they have this thing called theater week, a whole week, where you have to go through a series of auditions so that you can pick the final 10. So when they said that to me, I was like, oh, okay, no, Anna, we did. I went, I did my interview, I got my job. I started working on January, worked February. Then they called, I was time for theater week. And theater week is supposed to stay a whole week. Like a whole week there. So for some reason, somebody got COVID at the office. And they said,
oh, everything, a series of, I don't know if I should call them accidents or something, but everything has just been working in your favor that almost you go these Idols.
Telling you. And then I had to like an hour later, finished it, came back, continued working. My work people don't even know I can sing, nothing, not even concerned them. I finished, I was working, going to court, diligently doing my duties. I had been selected to be in the top 11. So I was now thinking, should I go? Should I not go? What will I tell my office? What if I go, they remove me the first week? I don't have a job to come back to. Because I'm a very calculated person. So I was like, I can't put all my eggs in one basket. Don't do this. What if? A lot of what ifs. But at the end of the day, they called us back for top 11. I had memorized like 1 million times how to walk to my boss's office and say, okay, sir, see you. This is what's going on. I would like to try, but if you think I can't go, because law is a jealous cause, especially when you're doing litigation, when you're going to court. You can't be telling your boss is music, you don't go and do music and come back. Like, it's not really, the work. So I was thinking, so I'm going to do this, am I going to do this? But one day I decided, let me not go for this thing, let me just avoid this wahala. Already, the other 10, they were already in the hotel. I've not gone for the show. The other 10, they've resumed at the hotel for the live shows. I hadn't. So that's what happened. So finally, my boss just comes and is like, where's Akunna? And I come back and he's like, I saw you on TV yesterday. Because at this time, they were already airing the auditions. So he's like, and I know he doesn't watch those things. So it was like that. His child was watching and he passed, and it was me that the child was watching. And the child was like, oh, daddy, this girl can sing or something like that. And he's like, what? This person that looks like my staff. And he's like,
oh, wow, I can imagine.
Because I thought you were pissed. So I started explaining that, that the auditions was before I resumed work. And I should not worry, I'm not going for the life. She said, what? You're not going for what? He says, I'm talking to you. I go and arrange your things and start going. So, that was it. And I'll start going on the live shows. And every week, I kept moving, pulling through till top 3. I'm grateful for that. So, like, to round off your question, I decided to go because I wanted to make sure that I've exhausted my options. And right now, looking back, I'm super proud of myself. At least when I'm 70, I can open YouTube and show my grandchildren. Look at mommy. Mommy's right there, Even it's just to be proud of myself and know that I've exhausted all options.
Who is not him?
So basically, that's that. That's
Okay.
the reason.
Okay.
I want to check.
Okay.
It's the winner that's coming to stress me. After winning 30 million, you're still coming to my room to stress me.
Is he there? Is he there? Does he want to show his face? I'm going to speak to him in a few minutes as well.
Yeah.
Bro, how far
God
now?
bless you.
The kingdom of God is at hand.
I see the way I'm rubbing his cheeks.
Yeah.
Share money.
Rub our cheeks too now. Rub each other's cheeks. Yeah, you to rub it back. Rub a hair now. That's really nice. So you have no regrets at all.
Yeah.
Am I right to say you have no regrets that is your national TV?
I have zero regrets, and at least I'm on national TV for the right reasons. So 0 regrets. I'm very proud of myself, very excited, that I got to the point I got the only girl standing in a competition as tough as that. So I'm very proud of myself, if I do say so.
Nah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So let me ask you, what lesson did you learn, like on the show? Obviously, the judges were quite experienced, and what lessons did you learn?
A lot of lessons.
Okay, run through them as quickly as possible.
I learned number 1 that you have to be really accommodating. Before, I used to be a baby girl that likes her space. Kinder wouldn't come to my room, and all that. I used to be very conservative to an extent. Like, I'm social, but I have like extreme boundaries. But I grew to love these guys. We became a family. And it was like, I even was the one inviting them, like, oh, you've not come to my room today, you've not come to see me, you've not come to. So yeah, I learned to be really accommodating and love people, Then also, I learned that you can't be overconfident. It's good to be confident, but look, whatever you think there are people that know more than you. That's the truth. So sometimes you have to calm down and be very teachable. I learned that for sure. That you have to be very teachable, because else you'll be stagnant if you think you know it all. Kingdom is a music guru. Kingdom knows a lot about music. Aside being able to deliver songs, he knows music, like he knows the process. So in as much as we're in competition, I learned that I had to listen when he says, oh, Akunna, this note, because that's how he talks, this note. Is
it still there? Can you hear?
I had to listen because he's actually. Yeah, he's looking at me.
No worries.
So
because I came here.
So I had to take that because it was we are very close. So it was from a place of love. You have to do this. It was a competition, but at some point it wasn't like a competition anymore because we're now very interested in giving a good show.
Oh, that's cool.
I know not to give a good show. Yeah, we were interested in giving a good show. We didn't want it to be Kingdom and the others, or Akunna and the others. We're not interested in, if somebody else is singing and that note is flat, we'll tell you, bro, that note is not good though. So you can change it, because it was now a family. We're now more of Nigerians. Did you see the group song? That was team. Last group song was beautiful because everybody came together to say, look, do this one instead. Do this one instead. So we wanted it to be Nigerian Idol as a.
That's really nice. Oh, I mentioned earlier that I really don't watch the show as much, but I caught the final episode, and I saw when Kingdom was announced as the winner, how you all came out together, celebrating him, congratulating each other, and I was like, are these people serious? Which one of all this are they do? Why are you people all? But I think it was beautiful, at least for your set.
We didn't just do that. people cried. People cried.
Yeah.
It was so emotional.
Like
the content. I mean, aside Akunna, I wouldn't cry.
Yeah,
But people cried.
She.
Like, yeah. But the thing is, I did feel those emotions. I felt the emotions of this boy worked hard, and I'm glad he got this. This boy worked hard, and he deserves it. So there were those. I know his family. They were there. It was very emotional for everybody. People were crying. People were tearing up. As much like it was a time when on a normal day people would think contestants would be sad that you missed, especially when they called gifts. You'd be like, "Oh my God, I was so close to getting that, and I did not get it." No, the emotions were pure. They were solid. They were like, yes, this boy got this thing. His life has changed, and I'm excited for him because at the end of the day, everybody's pathways are different.
Yes.
So this is, and I'm glad it happened to him. You never can tell another person's own. So I'm just really grateful.
Okay. Thank you very much for speaking with me, Akunna. So after you heard all Akunna has said about you, see how she's endeared you now. Like she's been very, very positive about everything. So how much is her cut out of that money?
How much did I give her out of the money?
Yes.
She's the lawyer already.
Don't move out of the frame. Let's see your face as I answer the question.
Lawyer already.
So she will determine her own cut, Abby.
No, that's not what I said. That's different from
what I
said.
Boy, I mean, I want you.
I love you.
How much is cut is what they're asking.
I love you.
How much is my cut? That's what they're asking you. See
what I go for.
See what he got me.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. That's really nice. Kingdom is such a gentleman. That's really nice. Okay, so Akunna, what's next for you now going forward? Are you going back to your job as a lawyer? And should we see Akunna the lawyer on Mondays to Thursdays or Fridays? Akunna is singing at events and shows. Is that what is going to be for you going forward?
Beautiful. I like that you asked that. So to be honest, I don't think I can keep up with my 9 to 5, which was literally like 9 to 10 in the night. It's not actually 9 to 5 because that's not flexible enough to accommodate the other Akunna, to be honest. Not flexible enough. But I just opened my own entertainment law firm. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I just opened, it's called PTX Consulting, Project Trend X Consulting. So yeah, and these guys are my specimens. So I just did that. So now that I did that because now I'm the chief, I'm the CEO, so I get to control how I work, employ people under me, while still being flexible enough to accommodate, the other Akunna that loves to sing, the other Akunna that loves to sing at weddings and do all those things and release tracks. And just look, the goal is ultimately to be happy. That's the truth. To be happy at what I do. So I also tell Akunna, don't pressurize me, okay? Don't try to force me to be in a Tiwa or a Seyi Shay or a you understand? Because when you're done with this show, it's on you. Like the expectations are high, but they don't want to know or care if that's the pathway you want. Every now and then they're attaching me to Yemi Alade. Akunna is a mini Yemi Alade. She's fierce. She's this one. What if I love her? Big respect to her, but she's really big. I love what she does, but that might not be Akunna. How about you allow Akunna find Akunna? So it's like do something. Like when you do something and you don't turn out to be Yemi Alade, they're mad at you. I know that. And I'm like, oh, what if that's not me? What if that's not my sound? So my own is I'm just taking it easy. I'm working on stuff, taking it easy while I'm still trying to grow my business, at the same time. Just make sure I accommodate every aspect of my life that makes me happy, which is law and music.
Law and music. Akunna, thank you very much for speaking with me. This was amazing.